Good morning. This is day one in Burkina Faso. I arrived yesterday around 10 p.m. So it was, I was a bit tired even though I kept scrolling in my phone or working a bit. So, good morning now. Let's go for breakfast. This is my humble abode. Yeah, this is where I'm staying. It's called Oka Hotel. And you know, mosquitoes, so mosquito net are essential. I don't want to catch any sickness, but yeah, let's go. I'll have breakfast and have a lazy Sunday whilst we wait to take a plane tomorrow morning to go to Bobo Diolaossu, where we will have the summer school. But yeah, I made it. Let me brush my hair, let me make my hair and then leave for breakfast. Unfortunately, I could not take the breakfast that I was having. Ndaifamba kanwanhu wakuru nehamawe. Saka makutozongona ndadzoka ndadya ndaguta. And then afterwards we had to go and find water because we could not drink mvura yepatepi. So we went to find water. It was hot and then I was back in my room. Ndatotanga kuputsa mvura yacho ngemunanopinga because it was really hot. And then afterwards we went outside with my professor. He was looking for a bag because he's been in Africa for like 4 weeks and he was looking for a smaller bag that he could use for our trip to Bobo. And what was fascinating for me mostly was just seeing people on motorbikes, like ladies riding them, like, you know, without any fear. It was so nice. And it was giving home vibes, like the kind of food that I was seeing. Quite a lot of things were actually much more similar to Sim's food stuff and all. But yeah. So because it was hot, we spent the day indoors. But then later on, we took a ride to have dinner at the other side of the city. So I was just enjoying the views, seeing people so comfortable on their motorcycles, seeing the sunset, and just, you know, seeing the environment. It was actually nice just being back in Africa and specifically Burkina Faso. So we arrived, waited for our food, and the food came. So they made the chicken with the whole head, the feet and everything, and it was so nice. We really enjoyed, listened to some music, and then we went home and rested. Honestly, time was moving so fast. It was already now in the morning. We went to the airport and yeah, we were waiting to board our plane to Bobo Diolaossu. So Bobo Diolaossu is I think the second largest city of Burkina Faso, and yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing, you know, how it was going to be, and also looking forward to my week. It was just fascinating, and yeah, so we boarded the plane. I got a window seat. Actually, funny thing about this one is that they don't assign seat numbers. So they just take like parents who are traveling with their kids, they go in first and then the rest of us gets in. So yeah, I actually got a nice seat and a nice view, and I really wanted to look at the city from the sky. And yeah, finally we arrived in Bobo Diolaossu, and I think it was a nice trip. And now we were waiting for our luggage because we checked in our luggage and I moved with everything. So now we were outside waiting for our ride to go to our hotel room, and there I was in Bobo Diolaossu. And of course you would see, you know, the poster for President Ibrahim, and my friends were asking me about it. But anyways, we arrived at the hotel and this was my room. So yeah, it was nice. It was much more better than the last one where I was in Ouagadougou, but then it was nice. And we also had to request for them to put mosquito nets, so I was moved to another room again. But yeah, this was where I was going to spend the next 7 days, even though I only spent a few hours there. Yeah, it was a nice place. We arrived the same day the summer school was starting, so we arrived in the morning, but they had some heavy rain, so everyone was delayed. But we just dropped our bags and went straight to the university, and there we were arriving at the university where we were spending the next 7 days at. So it was nice, and I was ready to start the course with the other people, and they are my professors. So, of course, on the first day, I could not record much, but we also had to go and look for some cash because we could only pay for cash. In the other city we were in, we could pay with euros and exchange, but we could not. So then we went back home. And one of my professors, the lady, Professor Pamela, said she will take me to the mosque, the famous mosque. So after we took a walk, because we spent the whole day sitting down. So there we were on our way. It was so hard to cross the road because, there were no pathways and there were a lot of motorcycles. So you have to be alert. Does not work. And we were now in a shop called that sells some Burkina, stuff, and it was really nice. There were quite a lot of stuff that was so nice. The t-shirts were good quality. So now I was waiting for to see what could I buy for people back home. And we were just walking. I think this walk was very much needed. And there we were at the mosque. Of course, there were people who wanted to say, oh, let's show you around, but then we did not allow them to show us around. And also the fact that French, they were speaking French. But we saw the mosque, and then we moved around. We wanted to see some clay pots and hada. Yes. So we were trying to find which one was much more better, or they could just start roasting some for us. And then we got back to the room and went for dinner. I had derere, guys, okra, and they also have sadza, their version of sadza, even though it was Kenya, the yellow sadza. But it was really nice for me. So as you know, our routines were almost similar. It was wake up, go to summer school, have some, lectures, and repeat, have dinner and repeat. And I think basically that's what I spent the whole week doing. But it was so nice to connect with so many scientists in my field. And in between the lectures and everything, we also had to meet some important people for the university. So we met the vice chancellor, and it was actually an honor to meet the vice chancellor of the university and discussing things about, agriculture and stuff. And then we stopped by CIDIC. Most people who are in my field know this research station very well. It's really good. And I had lunch, guys. We were eating, the Burkina Faso delicacies every lunchtime, and I really enjoyed this. And then it was time for me to do some lecturing and stuff. So we really had long days. And during this, I was teaching the people the practicals, like doing some bioinformatics in the context of genetic characterization or genetic diversity. And this was really good for me because I was actually learning quite a lot of stuff myself as I was delivering the lectures. So this was the main thing that I went to do in Burkina Faso. Of course, you guys are getting the other things, but basically this was the main thing that I went to do there. So as I said, that in between the lectures or after having lectures, we had to do other things, and this was us on our way to a farm because we needed to see some, cattle and have some samples for some research that my professor is doing. So when we were going like out of the town in the villages, and it was a really nice experience, and I really enjoyed. Sam's Kanawe Mombe, it didn't make sense for me to have this vlog and not show you a lot of cattle. My research is on Zebu cattle, and it was so nice to see some Zebu breeds and their crossbreds, and the head was looking so nice. It's a head from the research station. So we got into the crow, and we wanted to catch us some cattle and take some samples. And of course, I'm someone who works with cattle, but trust me, I'm also scared of cattle. But yes, we went there and it was a nice experience. And I salute all the veterinarians out there who take samples every now and again. And blood, hair and stuff, because in as much as if I'm behind the computer doing my bioinformatics stuff, some data analysis and everything, but Mofield, I salute you guys. And this was a good experience. Look at money. Hey. So we collected our samples and we headed back to the hotel. This was now day 4, guys. I think I was now a Burkina by now. So now it was on Thursday and I was going back the following day and I had to do some errands. Those people who are in Europe understand that you can't go back home and not have to do your hair. And there I was in the salon. Oh, guys, this was the greatest wash I've ever had in the longest. When I'm at home, I just, furuza my head, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done with washing. This was so therapeutic. I really enjoyed the wash. I even video called one of my friends and I was like, do you still know about this? The privileges that we have back home that we don't have now. Because here they would definitely charge you an arm and a leg to do your hair like this. So I had a good wash and So this was me, hair doing and stuff. And around this time, it was almost early morning, I think 1 a.m. or so. I was now rethinking, guys, did I make the right decision or not? But anyways, the following morning, this was how I was looking. And I really liked the hair. And I did it for an affordable price, which I will not mention. But I had a good time. And this was my last day in Bobo Diolaossu. So I was now leaving my room, the room that I've had for the whole week. And I was now packing and getting ready to check out before we start our day at the university, the closing day. My stay here. Can't wait to get home and see my boys. And this was my last ride to the university. And I had mixed feelings. I had really enjoyed my week there. I had met so many amazing people. We had great hosting people. And all of that was, coming to an end. And of course we passed through the market. Trust me, I got my groundnuts. This was our last day, and on the last day I was the one who was lecturing the whole day. And this was my last lunch in Burkina Faso, and I really enjoyed. And then now it was time to get our certificates for the summer school. You have to move to the side. Yes. I also got a certificate for lecturing for those 5 days, and these were the students, and it was so nice to see what we had accomplished for the whole week. And I was so grateful for this opportunity. Thanks to my Professor Hans, who really trusted me to come with him for the summer school and give me a Western African experience whereby we were, interacting with students and lecturing. And if you're out there and you're about to do your PhD, you should be ready for these kind of things, to travel, to get back into the field. And it is actually a good experience, because I know that in the next coming years, I'll be heading some projects and some stuff. So this was a good experience overall for me. And thanks to the people who hosted us in Bobo Diolaossu, I really enjoyed. After we finished, I had to do some last minute shopping. So we drove into the city and we went and bought some groundnuts. The groundnuts were so clean. This is my last day in Bobo. I really enjoyed it. It was so nice. Okay. I think I even enjoyed more than Hans.
Hans used to be here.
Yes, he's used, but for me, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed.
Yes.
Yes.
Normally in the night it's illuminating, but
Yes.
yeah, stop doing this one.
I was racing against time, so the preparation to go to the airport and the packing I didn't record, but there we were back in the air, and it was so nice to see the city from the sky. Look how big it is. This was one of the best views I've ever seen. It was so nice, and my flight was like for like less than an hour, and then I would arrive at the airport and wait for like a few hours before I connect. There was my flight. This was going to be the longest flight, I think 6 hours and some minutes. So this was going to be the longest flight, and I was so tired. I slept through all the flight, but then I woke up when the sun was up, and wow, look at those views. It was so beautiful to see, and I finally arrived in one last connection and I'll be home. My plane delayed, so I have an hour. They are already asking us to go to the gate, so I'm rushing there. This has been a good trip, even though it was exhausting. My face can even tell it all. And the airport is big. I had to walk for quite some time to get through the international transfers. Now I'm losing my breath, running to the next. Let's see how it goes. Fun fact, honestly, with the way I was tired, one of the air hostess asked me if I wanted the emergency seating, and because of the extra leg room and everything, I agreed. But then when they were training us that you agreed that you would be able to open the door, blah blah blah, you know, all those things that they say, I was like, okay, what did I get myself into? But gladly we did not have any problems, and now we were about to take off, and we took off. Yes, I was so ready to be home. I was really tired, honestly. I wanted a good night's sleep at home with my boys. And I can be home to see my baby and my husband. So let's go. So hello guys, if you're watching this, I'm sure you have watched my trip, you have watched what I've been doing for the whole 1 week here in Burkina Faso. I really enjoyed myself, I had good food, so now it's time to check out. It's in the morning, it's around 7, it's around 8, and of course we have a whole day ahead of us, like our summer school and all of that, concluding our summer school. But then that means after that I head back to the airport. But this was a good stay. I was in Ouagadougou before, and I liked it, but when I came to Bobo, I liked it more. I enjoyed. So thank you so much for watching my vlog. As you see, my hair is snatched. So who comes to Africa and they don't do their hair? Nobody. See ya.